The Talkative Turtle and the Two Geese, a Panchatantra Story. Deep inside a forest, in a deep lake, lived a turtle named Tomlin. He was the most talkative turtle in the entire forest. Whether he was in water or on land, Tomlin would spare no one. Animals used to hide when they saw Tomlin. Tomlin's best friends were a pair of geese, Bobby and Bonnie, who lived in the same lake. The three friends spent hours chatting together. One day, Tomlin noticed that the water level in the lake was going down. He was worried as the rains had failed that year. Already several animals had left, and there was talk of the lake drying up completely. But he was not prepared when his two friends came to tell him that they too were leaving. Bonnie was close to tears.
Tomlin, we have had such good times together. But now we have to leave. Soon, there will be no water in the lake.
Tomlin was alarmed. How could he stay if his best friends were leaving? He was also worried about.
Without water, there will be no insects, no plants, and no fish. Can I also come with you?
Tomlin asked the geese. Geese were taken aback by Tomlin's request. He could only swim in the lake or walk on the land. He did not know how to fly. Bobby was the first to react.
Oh, Tomlin, you cannot fly. How will we take you?
Tomlin did not want to give up so easily. He asked Bobby and Bonnie to give him some time to think. After a few hours, Tomlin swam to where Bobby and Bonnie were resting. The two geese looked at the turtle with interest and thought that Tomlin must have come to express his helplessness. But Tommy had an idea. He looked them in the eyes and said,
I have a solution. We need to find a strong piece of wood. I will hold the wood in my mouth, while the two of you can clutch the two ends of the wood with your beaks. We will then be able to leave together.
Bonnie was impressed and said,
It's a smart plan, Tomlin.
But Bobby had his doubts.
Tomlin, you can't keep your mouth shut even for one moment. Do you know what will happen when you open your mouth to talk? You will fall and die.
Tomlin assured his friends that this was a matter of life and death. He fully understood that he would fall to his death if he opened his mouth. That is why he would not utter a single word when they are in the air. In a voice that was full of sincerity, Tomlin told his two friends.
Do you think I am such a fool? Please believe me.
The three friends then spent the rest of the day looking for a suitable piece of wood. Finally, they found a thin strip of wood that was small and strong, and which Bobby and Bonnie could easily hold in their beaks. Next morning, the three friends set off. The geese flew high into the sky, with Tommy hanging tightly to the thin piece of wood. Tomlin had never seen the world from above. He was excited. Even the massive elephants looked small, and the river seemed almost like ribbons of water. He wanted to share his excitement with Bobby and Bonnie, but he remembered his promise and kept his mouth shut. Soon, the geese left the forest behind and started flying over plain land. Tomlin looked down and saw a group of excited villagers. Underneath him, one villager was pointing towards them and asking fellow villagers.
What's that? Are those geese carrying a ball of wool?
He then heard another villager saying,
No, it's a bundle of clothes.
A woman burst out laughing.
Are you mad? Why would geese carry clothes? Nothing can be more silly.
Tomlin heard the woman say in a sharp voice. Tomlin looked puzzled, and he wanted to ask,
I am not a bundle of cloth or a ball. I am a turtle.
Finally, when he could hold himself no longer, he opened his mouth to speak. He could not have made a bigger mistake. The thin piece of wood slipped out of his mouth, and he started falling through the air. Tomlin screamed and tried to move his small turtle legs in the hope to break his fall, but he fell head first on the ground. It was a hard fall, and Tomlin went unconscious. When he finally opened his eyes, he saw Bobby and Bonnie looking at him. But before he could ask what had happened, Bobby spoke.
Tomlin, you did not keep your promise. Despite our warning, you opened your mouth to speak. The result was that you lost your hold on the piece of wood and fell.
Bonnie, who too had seen Tomlin falling on the rock, said,
You were lucky, Tomlin. The villagers did not leave you to die on the rock but took you home. After some time, they left you near this beautiful lake.
Tomlin turned around and noticed that he was lying next to a beautiful lake. Bunny then thanked God that he had saved Tomlin and also brought him to a lake that was full of water. She turned to Tomlin and announced,
Let's make this place our new home.
Tomlin had learned his lesson. Instead of responding, the talkative turtle simply nodded his head in agreement. From then on, he spoke only when necessary. And together, the three friends made the new lake their happy home. The moral of the story: talk only when needed. If you enjoyed listening to this story, then please like, share, and subscribe to the Fables Forever channel by clicking the subscribe button below.